We are backstage at Boots and Hearts with Thomas Rhett. Good to see you. How
Likewise.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a minute. I feel like we had you in Canada for a long time, like a lot of Thomas Rhett. Now I feel like you're back so much in 2024, which is very exciting.
No, it's been a fun year for sure. I mean, anytime we see Canada pop up on our calendars, we get very excited.
Yes.
We love getting a tour up here. This is one of my favorite festivals in the world. Third time playing it.
I know.
And, it feels good to be back.
You have any surprises up your sleeve?
Yeah, a couple.
You do? Okay.
Yeah,
I love to hear that. Okay, we won't give anything away. But yeah, I was just talking to Need to Breathe, and they said you were one of the people that kind of told them that Boots and Hearts was just one of the best that there is.
I love them. I don't know if you got to spend any time with those dudes, but
I've
gotten to know Bear a lot over the last few years. And tonight is so awesome and random to have Need to Breathe.
The best.
Matchbox 20, who legitimately, besides Sugar Ray, was like my favorite band from the late 90s, early 2000s. And so I just feel honored. I should be like first of those three. The fact that I'm getting to headline this is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to be here. I think this is going to be just a great night.
Yeah, like whatever your normal pre-show routine is probably going to change tonight because you're probably going to be watching Matchbox 20.
I'm going to be watching intently, yes.
That's amazing. So do you have a favorite Matchbox 20 song?
I mean, so 3 a.m. was actually the first song I ever learned how to play on the guitar. I was like 12 years old, and my dad taught me how to play it. But
that's awesome.
But Push, their entire first album was literally sort of the soundtrack to my early teens.
And I'm assuming in your household you probably got to watch Ryan Gosling rock it in Barbie movie. Did you watch it with the girls?
I think I'm the only one that hasn't seen the Barbie movie. My wife watched it on a long flight a couple weeks ago and said she loved it, but I still have not seen it, and I love Ryan Gosling.
It's pretty good.
And Margot Robbie.
I think you got to, maybe on your ride home from Boots and Hearts, got to check it out.
Deal.
So you have a new album coming out,
yeah,
which I am so excited because everything you've released so far has been incredible. What can fans expect from this new album from TR?
Bangers only.
Bangers only.
Bangers only. No, I mean, for real, like I kind of started this process a year and a half ago, and I genuinely can't believe that I'm about to release my 7th album.
Crazy.
I don't feel old enough to have done that, but then I remember that I started doing this when I was 19 years old, and so this is probably, I say this about all my records, but I think from a fun perspective and a joy perspective, this has been my favorite record to make. Because I had one mission, and that was joy. And it genuinely was to make people want to move and make people want to dance and make people just feel, I don't know, just emotion in a joy-filled way. And you've seen our show before. It is very high energy. We encourage people to scream and laugh and dance and jump and all the things. And I wanted to make a record that really sort of represented what we do live. And, this is the most music I've ever put out before an album, 4 songs. And it comes out in 2 weeks, and I can't believe that it's finally here. So,
is it also kind of a reflection? Like, I know it hints at what your live show is like, but I also sense, just seeing your socials and seeing you now, that I feel like the joy is also kind of a reflection of where you're at in your personal life right now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, and I've said that a couple of times. But like, my wife and I have 4 children.
It's a
I'm
busy
sure people know
life.
that. But I remember my dad early on was like, "Hey, just make sure you always write about what you know about." And I know my wife really well. And so I think that's always my favorite challenge on a record, is to figure out new ways to say I love you to her.
Beautiful As You is a really good one.
Yeah. And I just wanted this to be like a record that my wife absolutely loved. Not that she hasn't loved my ones in the past, but I think that this being fully kind of dedicated to her has been a really special moment in time, because our kids are older now.
Yeah.
Like, we just did our first day of school yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday.
Were you able to be there and then
I was there. I flew up here this morning. But I was walking up to the school line, and I was seeing so many parents crying, about taking their kids to school, and I'm like, this is the first time that my wife and I have had an empty house from 8 to 3 p.m.
for a long time.
In a decade. And so me and Lauren are just like, let's freaking
like,
party.
You guys have a great day.
Y'all
Mom
have a
and Dad
great
will
day.
see you later.
Yeah, we're going to play pickleball. We're going to grab coffee. We're going to drink mimosas. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
But yeah, it's a really fun season in life right now.
I love when you put Lauren on the spot and quiz her about your music. I'm just like, that poor girl.
It's the best.
It is. She's such a good sport.
That's how, there's a lot of people that have said, like, why are you so mean to her? And I'm like, that's how we flirt.
Yeah.
That is literally how we have flirted since we were in grade school.
That's awesome.
So the fact that is still happening is a positive sign, I assure you. So.
And how are you enjoying her passion, which is one of mine as well, but horseback riding? Is it something that you love now just as much as she does?
My mission was to love it.
Okay. Do you love it?
Because I wanted, because, there's so many things that I love to do that she has been gracious enough to fly fishing or, golfing or whatever it is. And so I was like, I'm going to learn this. And I don't take hobbies lightly. Like I have to go 100%. So I've already bought a pair of chaps. I've got some spurs.
Good for you.
I've learned
you went all in.
Learned how to saddle a horse. Learned how to ride in the arena. And now our kids are loving it too. So it really has become, when we're at the farm riding horses, like the day goes by so fast. And it has been one of the great joys of my life to kind of be a horse owner
I love that.
and get to do it with my family. So
I grew up. My dad's a horse trainer. I grew up on a farm, and there's no like for how crazy and busy the music industry is. There's like no better place to unplug.
Well, it's good for me because like my brain is always on music, and when I'm riding a horse, it's the only thing that I can think about.
It has to be.
It has to be, or else because I have been thrown off of a few.
Yep, that's how you learn.
But it has been so awesome.
I love that. All right, well, we'll wait for Thomas Rhett horseback riding in a video soon. Full cowboy.
I'm going to follow in Cody Johnson's shoes and enter in the PBR next year.
I can't wait. We're going to manifest it.
I'm not doing that.
All right, well, we are super excited, of course, that you're at Boots and Hearts, but you are co-hosting the CCMA Awards this year with my girl, Mackenzie Porter.
That's right. I got to hang out with her quite a bit on Thursday.
She's
we did
awesome.
A bunch of interviews together, and me and my wife actually watched Travelers.
No way.
And I finally told her, because it was the first time I really got to hang out with her, and I told her that, and she's as sweet as she can be.
She's the best. You've got a great
I'm really
co-host.
glad that she is doing this with me because I would die if I was doing it by myself. And so I just told her I'm just going to stand way back in the shadows and just kind of chime in when I need to.
Just lead the way, Mackenzie.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. And I feel like Canadian fans, I almost feel like Canada feels like a second home for you.
It really does.
We've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I've been touring here since 2012. My first tour up here ever was opening for Jason Aldean. We started in Vancouver and came all the way over to Toronto. And since then, I've gotten the pleasure of headlining these arenas, on my own. And it's hard to pick the perfect adjective for Canadian fans, but it's rowdy. Like
They're
it is so rowdy. And I don't know if that's because like it's cold here all the time. So like when summertime rolls around, people just lose their minds.
They've been waiting a long time.
I've been waiting
to let loose.
But I literally have been scrolling through my DMs, and there's a bunch of people that asked me to come to their campground and party with them. And I was like, it is 9:40 in the morning, so
like,
I will be there shortly.
You're like, just take it easy, pace yourselves, guys. Yeah, it's a long day. But what was your reaction when you found out that you were being asked to host the CCMA Awards? Because that is Canada's big night.
I think my first reaction was there's probably way more suitable candidates than myself. I've done some hosting stuff. I got to host CMA Fest a couple years with Kelsey, and it's always come naturally for me. I can read well, which is nice. So I can follow a teleprompter. But I've always wanted to roast people in an audience. Because I have been roasted, by the host, whether it was Luke Bryan or Reba or whoever it was.
You're always a target, yep.
But it was a huge honor. I think it's a credit to me coming up here a bunch, and being. I just love my Canadian people so much, and so to be asked to do that was a real big honor.
Awesome. Well, I feel like it's shaping up to be a very exciting next couple of weeks. Got album out on August 23rd about a woman, and then we're bringing you back to celebrate like an album release party for CCMA Awards. Are you planning on roasting anybody at the CCMA Awards?
I got to ask Mackenzie who is roastable.
Okay.
And who is not.
I'll give you some.
I don't want to dive in too hard on somebody that I don't know that well. Needs to be somebody that I know.
They would be like, if anyone's gonna roast me, at least it's Thomas.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe
it'll all be in good fun.
Check
and
it off their bucket list.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait for the new music. Beautiful as You is incredible.
Thank you.
I got to say, your Twister song. Of course, the rodeo scene, perfect scene, but like that song is on repeat. Keep it country.
We've been playing it live, and it has been such a joy.
You playing it live?
Heck yeah.
Okay, good, because it is my new jam. So
awesome.
Always good to see you, Thomas Rhett. Thanks for joining us on Pure Country.
Appreciate it.